Hello and welcome to Live Talks with Crystal Phoenix. And my name is Crystal Phoenix, Crystal Bay, also known as Crystal Phoenix. And I would like to talk about narcissistic relationships and just narcissistic people in general, as today is National Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day. So we all know narcissists in our life. We've all experienced them in one form or another, and it happens and it sucks. And so basically, I'm just here to share different experiences within my own, narcissistic life, unfortunately, and everything else. And would love to open up the panel if anybody would like to join me. Just let me know in comments whether you want to come in or not. Hi, Izzy. Thank you again for the beautiful banner that I have. I truly do appreciate it. So the true characteristics of a narcissist. I mean, everybody has some of them. You feel you know better than in certain things. We sometimes feel entitled. Those are all things that happen. Hello, Miss 702. Welcome. Thank you. I thought you were going to be joining me in here. Guys, just give me one moment. Sorry about that, guys. Mom was letting me know dinner's ready. But I wanted to, have this talk because narcissistic relationships are hard. Gaslighting is one of their biggest things in their tool belt. And narcissists, like with narcissistic disorder, all have a huge chip on their shoulder. And they think that they are owed everything and that they are better than everybody else and that their shit don't stink. Hello, Gregory. Welcome, guys. And thank you so much for joining me, Miss 702. I'm so glad you came. Thank you.
Hi.
Welcome. So we all know narcissists and they suck. And yes, there are narcissistic tendencies in all of us. We all know it. But when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, they make you feel like you're crazy, don't they? Miss 702, what's your opinion on that one?
Yeah, because when a person, keeps challenging your confidence, eventually they'll break your confidence. And then that's smooth sailing for a narcissist.
I mean, heck, in the comments, there's somebody called Narcissistic Mom who said, please, this cannot go public. why would it matter if you treat people with kindness and love and don't think you're better than everybody else? I know I'm not better than anybody else. I just do me and I try to help others. I'm heart based. All the work that I do is exactly that. you know Thank you, Gregory, for helping out on that. So to me, a narcissist is just out for themselves, and that's just wrong. you know as long as we help each other rise, that's what should matter in life. And to me, that's all that's important, is helping each other and creating a better world for future generations. So this whole "I'm only out for me" is not right. So what do you think, Miss 702?
It's funny that you mentioned that person's name was that, because one of the things that I'm dealing with is, my mother has cognitive impairment now, right? So when they get to the point of having cognitive impairment, they can no longer mask. And I don't know if a lot of people know what masking is,
Mm-hmm.
but it led me to find some books about, like, what it's like to be the daughter of a narcissistic mom. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it gets extremely difficult when people can no longer mask. We always think about like just romantic relationships, but it can even be you and an employer. A narcissist could be anywhere in our life.
I have a book that I'm going to share with you. Actually, when it comes to that and everything, that a very good friend of mine, Lonnie Ray, wrote. Um, it's actually called, oh God, I'm looking for it right now. It's letter, uh, Memoirs from a Lousy Mom, I believe it was. Oh, Life Lessons from a Lousy Mom and Learn from a Lousy Mother. Yeah. I'm going to share that link for you. And because it's true, having a narcissistic parent is hard because they think that you owe them for just giving birth to you and things like that. And it's not cool. You know, I mean, I'm grateful that I was, born, but I don't owe you for that. I didn't ask to be here. I
Right. And I'm going to say that's not an
appreciate
accurate
it.
depiction.
But at the end of the day, yes, I want to help my family. I want to be their parents who raised me.
And you know what?
No,
That's not an,
but it does happen.
that's not it's different because there's different levels of narcissistic behavior, right? So I can
Absolutely.
say that I have a wonderful mother, right? I have a wonderful,
Mhm.
wonderful mother. But there are some things, I don't know, the mother daughter relationship is difficult. There are some things that are points of indifference for us. Like, my mother was a nurse. My mother raised me as a nurse. My mother wanted me to be a nurse. So when I got of age and I told her the first thing that I didn't want to be was a nurse, that was like the number one disappointment in life, like all downhill from here. You don't want to be a nurse? Oh my God. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's something about that mother daughter relationship. It really is. Are you
I
doing enough? Are
Yeah,
you this? Are you that? We just, constantly our whole life we're trying to stretch and be the
yeah.
best to our mothers.
I need to introduce you to a good friend of mine on LinkedIn, my dear. Her name is Alexis, and she actually works in that exact field that you're speaking of. Um,
Hmm.
she is a coach for, okay, here, Queen of the Killings, the Status Quo. She works with women who are trying to break out of the box from, that whole mother daughter, you're supposed to be my mini me almost.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
You hit the nail on the head.
Hmm. It's even harder for people in adopted families, because it's like they put all this money into their, adopting you and raising you, so they feel like you really should uphold the family name and things like that. And that's not truly narcissism, as just wanting you to fulfill, that's just generational trauma, because it's been passed on throughout the family, throughout the generations. But at the same time, it's still hard. you know.
Yes. And another thing with my mother is she's Mother Teresa of my family, She always takes care of everyone. She always balances everything on her back. And it's like, for me, everyone's children are not the same as them. I do as much as I can mentally, physically, and emotionally for others, but I am learning to establish like healthy boundaries with people.
Exactly. You have to
Yeah.
okay, self-care is not selfish, first off. You hear me say it all the time. I've told you that in our own personal conversations, first off, because you have to fill your own cup to be able to fill others. So if you're not taking care of yourself and you don't have those healthy boundaries, you're number one, people are going to walk all over you. Number two, you're going to run yourself into the ground and you're going to make yourself sick. And that's not healthy,
Absolutely.
and narcissists don't care. It's gimme, 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 gimme without actually giving anything back. You know, I mean, I'm not saying your mom is or anything like that. I actually don't think she is. She seems like she's a
No.
wonderful person, but
Yeah.
you didn't fit into the box.
Yes, absolutely. There's a
Mhm.
generational thing, there's the regional thing. We're
Mhm.
just very different people sometimes
Yeah.
than our parents for a lot of reasons.
Mhm. You
My
know.
mother, like I said, she's seen as the Mother Teresa of our family. And for me, it gets to a point where I have to be real with people. I can do this and this, but I can't do everything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm
Mhm.
not a clone. I'm not a mini me.
But you're your own person, you know. I'm
Yes,
so
yes.
different from my biological mom, my adopted mom, and my good mommy, you know, but I have characteristics of all three of them. But I'm an individual. None of them are an authors, none of them are public speakers, things like that. So, I have made myself, you know, as an individual. Now, granted, my family is respectful and supportive of the journey that I am finally taking, but not all people are. The collaborative book that I'm in that's coming out on the 7th is called Beyond Boxes, and it's a collaboration of stories of from all over the world of all of us talking about how we broke out of the box that either society, our family, like cultural upbringing, you know, things like that put us in, even we put ourselves in. And it's just different stories about how we broke out of that box and, decided to be us and move forward in life. So,
That's important. Like
mhm,
holding on to yourself and
mhm,
knowing what you're capable of and you're capable of
mhm,
standing in is so important in not being the victim of a narcissist. And I'm speaking of that, especially in a romantic sense, dating relationships. You have to hold on to yourself because there's so much work to let someone
mhm.
else change you and you lose you and then have to find you again. Oh my God, it's so much work.
Oh, I agree. And I do find it funny that Miss Narcissistic Mom did a hashtag let Dahlia speak. Okay. I am like still learning about this whole thing that she's speaking about and the whole Lima and her mental health crap. And if Lima had actually done what she said when it came to the VR and the mental health, it would have worked. But I have no idea what her comments have anything to do with our topic. Greg, can you um, take care of that? Because this isn't making any sense. um, I mean, what Lima actually is a true narcissist who took advantage of people with addiction and things like that. And if she had actually kept to her prospectus that was on her website, she could have actually done a lot of help for people, with the VR and the mental health therapy that she was supposedly doing. But she didn't keep to her prospectus, and it's actually giving a bad name. Hence, narcissist. They do that all the time, don't they? So, If that's what you're talking about, narcissistic mom, I have no problem talking about it because I'm very active within my VR headset. Heck, my book launch was in the metaverse.
Can I speak on something that I ran across today? It may relate to this situation, right?
Sure, go for
I saw a post on Twitter, and the post was by someone I follow, and I treasure all their gems they put on there, right? And it said something like, the best revenge is success, and da 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 da, da, right? And I was thinking to myself, but even in seeking revenge in situations you don't feel that were just, is still lending your energy to the narcissistic person. I don't want to give them any of my energy. I want to recall every single bit of my energy back. There is no revenge. You know what I mean? No revenge. I'm concentrating on myself and I'm moving forward. No revenge.
it. The best revenge for a narcissist, honestly, is succeeding and ignoring them. They hate that the most. If you don't acknowledge them, that bugs them the most. And the fact that you can succeed without them is even better. You know,
But,
that is the
but see,
best
that's
revenge you
just what
can
I
have.
was saying. I don't
Mhm.
think you're truly healed until you're not giving your energy or thought process to the person at all. I don't
Exactly.
even think of revenge because revenge is still giving them my energy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's weird for you to wake up every day and say, well, I want to accomplish these things so I could show this person that they didn't break me, or I could show this person that I'm still, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's still giving them my energy. I'm more focused on trying to forget them as a whole, like, no more energy. Do you think that's normal? You think it's healthy?
No, it's not. I mean, and that's the whole thing. They don't exist. Ignore them. You know, that's not giving them energy. Just do you and succeed. And that honestly will piss them off the most. It's just an added bonus, you know, in life. The fact that you're succeeding without them. It is a bonus for me, like with when it comes to my ex, at least, you know,
Hmm.
knowing that I have overcome what he put me through and moved forward. I have 3 very successful books, about to have a 4th and a 5th. You know, I'm doing what I set out to do. I am a voice. I am giving a voice to those that don't have it, and I won't let him beat me down, you know? And he is rotting in jail until the 7th, ironically, when the new book launches. Funny.
Wow. But you know what? I never think like that. I mean, I think that's a wonderful thing for you, but I never think like that. I just have these moments where I'm like so appreciative to be free of the situation. And I'm so appreciative to be able to do the things that I always wanted to do or that I was used to doing before that interruption. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I think of it. Like
And that
everybody, I guess, thinks of it differently.
no, that's a really good mindset, you know? It's just after being broken down for 10 years, 11 years,
Oh my God.
yeah, it's a little, you know, I do enjoy that, you know, sweet thought in the back of my head that haha, but at the end of the day, whether he knows or not, I'm still me. I'm still doing what I do because I want to help people. It's not to throw it in his face. That's just kind of that little added bonus at the end of it. You know, if that makes any
But
sense.
I'm finally getting to the point, a year later, I'm finally getting to the point where I'm appreciative of the things that it highlighted in myself that I needed to work on. One of the things that I'm still struggling with that I'm trying to get a grip on is forgiving people when they do not deserve forgiveness. You know,
Yeah.
like we have to unlearn what people tell us about being women. Oh, have a heart or forgive, or that person doesn't mean it, or, they only did this because of X, Y, and Z. No, some people really meant it. Some people really meant to be that way to you. And I feel like once you learn the lesson from the universe, you have to start standing on that lesson. When people disrespect me now, when people do certain things that are uncalled for, I'm trying to pray for strength to just walk away from them. and be done with them. It seems harsh, but like I don't want to always be somebody's punching bag because I have a big heart, you know?
Oh, I understand that completely. I've had to set boundaries and cut loose on friends that I didn't think I would have to because of that exact thing. And I do want to acknowledge Queen's comment. Um, when it comes to, it sounds like you, with your past relationship, it sounds like you were gaslit a lot. And yeah, we'll talk because that your exact thing is what I specialize in as a coach, my dear. You know, is getting back to being you, learning to trust yourself again and figuring out who you are. It's a journey and it's a
Yes.
struggle, but I've been there and I
Mm,
can help you. That's why I got my coaching degree and everything. So,
do you want to
Queen,
hear
we'll
something
talk later.
so Ooh, you want to hear something so crazy? Because I just looked at Queen's comment when you mentioned it. I had a really bad accident some years back, right? A couple years back. And I had certain little issues. Like, I'm lucky to be alive, but I had like certain neurological things from getting hit so bad, like my actual body, not in a car. Um, and I had like speech issues because of the situation, right? I've really worked myself through some things coming out of the accident, right? And so my ex would say, "Oh, well, you don't remember good because of the accident. You don't remember." And it is true. I do have a little bit of a memory problem, but that person started to abuse that. And I like really in real time saw the person try to replace memories with things that really wasn't true. That's
That's
abuse.
that's gaslighting. That's true
Yeah. I
gaslighting.
just think that's so crazy now that I lived through
Mhm.
that, where the person would be like,
Mhm.
"Well, I didn't say this, or I did
Mhm.
say this, or this did happen. Oh, you know your
Mhm.
memory." And I'm just like, what? I started to text
Mhm.
myself things so that I could remember accurately. And
Yep, and
like,
record
yo,
things and things like that.
I
But
didn't I didn't record, but I did text myself little things so later on I could be like, no, this is what it was, right? And it's crazy that a person would go that far to abuse you. Like to abuse almost a disability is crazy, you know?
yeah, it is. And I don't want to cut this short, but I was just told I have to go make my dinner plate because Matt has to go to bed and mom has to put food away. So I this is definitely going to be continued, like maybe within even a half hour. But as this was kind of an impromptu thing, but you've made some very valid
Absolutely. It's
points.
been fun coming up here for a moment, and I'm gonna slide over to the ladies of I talk now. You have a good
Yeah, I
night,
noticed that
girls.
they you too. Love you. I will see you guys later. Thank you for joining. Bye.